At the beginning of the year, I made this video where I talked about all of the goals that I had for 2023 when it came to reselling. And probably the loftiest goal that I stated in that video was that I wanted to make more money on my own website than I did on all other reselling platforms. Now that is a ridiculous goal and I am nowhere near being able to say that that's true. However, in this week of sales that we're going to talk about today, that is absolutely what happened. My website made more money than all other reselling platforms that I sell on. I totally misspoke. While my website did beat out Poshmark this week, it did not beat out eBay because eBay actually came through. It was also just like a really bad week of reselling, so it wasn't very hard for my website to beat, the other platforms, but still, it felt really good. Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I am a part-time reseller on a variety of reselling platforms, including my very own website, shopbeckypark.com, and last week I had a drop on that website, which is why I think I did pretty well on my website compared to some of the other platforms that I sell on. It was by no means like a selling out event or anything close to that on my website, but I was able to move some more expensive pieces, and even though I offer free shipping and really low prices on these items, because the fees are so low through Shopify, that's why I'm able to pocket a little bit more money and why I wanted to get into selling on my own website in the first place. And I don't share a whole lot about just the process of setting up my own website or what it takes to run it or even my views or thoughts on it very much. If that's something that you'd like me to dive a little bit more into, let me know down in the comments below. I'm definitely still learning a lot about Shopify. I am by no means an expert, which is why I haven't come out with this is how you sell on Shopify. I'm not the right girl to make that video, but that being said, if you just want kind of an overview of my experience on Shopify, I can definitely do something like that for you. Just let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. And I'll share a little bit about how Shopify has been going for me in today's video. But for today's video, we're going to be talking about sales within the week of July 24th through the 30th. You're going to see that it was not a great sales week, but let's just jump right in. So Monday, which was July 24th, on Poshmark, I started off with a pretty decent sale. It was this pair of new with tags, cool, Rebel Classic tapered pants in a dark khaki color. They were in a men's size 42 by 30. These sold for $60 on Poshmark, but I had $26.39 into those. There is a store in my town. It's like a outdoor store, kind of like a Dick's Sporting Goods, but they specialize in brands like Patagonia and Cool and Outdoor Research, those kinds of brands. They will have pretty spectacular sales every now and then, although I feel like those sales are not as spectacular as they used to be. And there was a year when I would go to these sales and get new with tags cool pants for $10, $15, and I was able to sell them for $70, $80. So that was a no-brainer. And then they started not marking down the cool pants by as much, so I was having to get them for $20, $25, but I was still able to sell them at that $70, $80 mark, so it was okay. Now, however, I feel like cool pants are just not selling for as much. These sold for $60, but that was after close to 2 years. I've had these listed for a very long time and on a number of platforms. So it could just be that this style isn't as popular anymore, but given that I had them for a really long time, I had a lot into them. Let's see, I listed these on March 22nd, 2022. So it's been over a year. I made a net profit of $21.61. So I didn't even double my money on this sale, and I had it for a little over a year, which is a long time. So personally, I'm definitely not going to be paying that much for cool pants anymore. I will still pick up cool pants if I can get them for $10, maybe even up to $15. $26.39 is just way too much to be spending on cool pants, even if they're brand new. Now again, it depends on the style, it depends on a lot of different things, but this particular pair of pants, you should not be spending that much on. The next thing that sold on Poshmark was this pair of Anu black leather strappy comfort slip-on flats in a size 8.5. I recently uploaded a haul from a local consignment store because they were having a birthday sale. At this particular birthday sale, you fill as much stuff as you can in a regular plastic bag. They charge you $30 for the bag, and so, you're able to walk out with some really great items for a really great price. My cost of goods for the last birthday sale was $4.55. That's how much I paid per item, and I think that's the most I've ever had to pay at this birthday sale per item, and I think it's because I got a lot of bigger things. I got a lot of big boots, I got some big jackets, and that's why the price came out to a little bit more per item than it usually does. So this pair of shoes is one of the items that I got at that sale, and it's actually the first item to sell from that haul, which I was so surprised by. I had them listed for, I want to say $30 on Poshmark. However, I believe I sent out offers to watchers on these for $25 with discounted shipping, and that offer was sent through Posher VA, which is a Chrome extension that I have that will do things like share my closet and send offers. I don't sit there and babysit my closet anymore. It's just not something that I'm willing to do. But because of Posher VA, I did make the sale, and once you factor in discounted shipping, once you factor in my cost of goods, my profit on those was $12.47, which isn't a whole lot, but they flipped so fast, so I was incredibly happy with that sale. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was this pair of Eileen Fisher black suede leather strappy ankle strap sandals in a size 7. This is something that I got not in 2023, but in 2022, in the summer of 2022, at the Seattle Goodwill outlet. So I had about $2 into those because at the bins you pay by the pound, and I did get a lot of shoes that day, so my cost of goods was a little bit higher. It was about $2 per item. But these sold finally after a full year and then some. They sold for $47, and I made a great profit of $38.75. You usually just cannot beat bins pricing, and my goodness, there are a lot of amazing shoes at the Seattle bins. The next day, which was Tuesday, July 25th, on Mercari, I sold this Ann Taylor Factory orange floral print short sleeve shirt in a size extra, extra small petite. There is so much wrong with this item. The fact that it's an extra, extra small petite, literally, I think the smallest size that exists. Maybe you can get a triple 3XS, I don't know, but it's pretty stinking small. And it's Ann Taylor Factory, like it's not even real Ann Taylor, it's from the outlet. Ann Taylor itself is just a hard brand to resell because it's super oversaturated on reselling markets. This sold for $9 on Mercari, and I was ecstatic with that sale because I don't even know why I listed it in the first place. This came to me in a ThredUp bulk rescue box from forever ago, so I've probably had this listed for at least a year as well, and I made a net profit of $7.21. Pro tip, you probably don't need to list Ann Taylor Factory, especially when it's simple short sleeve shirts like this. On Wednesday, which was July 26th, I only sold things on eBay. So the first thing to sell on eBay was this Talbot's striped sleeveless button-up shirt in a size 6 petite. It was wrinkle resistant. This sold for $22, and I only had $1 into it from a local consignment store. These kinds of more simple Talbots, like button-up shirts, these are not things that I typically pick up to resell, but I did for this item because it was $1. And because of the very low cost of goods, I still made a net profit of $17.13. But I did have to sit on this for over a year. The next thing to sell was this pair of Levi's 505 denim classic jean shorts in a men's size 31. They had a medium wash, and I thought they were just so silly. So I actually went to a garage sale earlier this summer. It was one of those neighborhood garage sales, and the very first house that I went to, she had a ton of men's pants for sale. It was all like Levi's, Wrangler, a lot of Carhartt, and everything was priced so well. So what I did was I just pulled a bunch of stuff that I wanted. I gave it all to her, and she just quoted me a price. It came out to about $1.50 per pair of jeans. And as I was taking all of these jeans and pants to my trunk, she ran after me with this pair of shorts, and she was like, "Do you want this pair of shorts too? It's in the same size as all those jeans that you picked up." And I had seen the shorts, and I had left them behind very purposefully because I was like, what am I gonna do with these shorts? I thought they were just so ridiculous, but she was like, you can have them for free, and I'm not gonna turn my nose up at free, so I was like, okay. I brought them home, I listed them, and of course, they were the very first thing to sell from that haul, which is ridiculous. I actually posted about this extremely quick flip on my Instagram, and a lot of people let me know that jorts, jean shorts, actually sell extremely well for them, even on platforms like Depop. I don't know, I was just so shocked. These sold for my full asking price of $24.99. I'm saying I had $1.50 into these, although, like I said, these were free, but I put that in as my cost of goods, and so my net profit on those was $20.05. That's ridiculous, but I guess we have all learned now that jorts are a bolo. The next thing to sell was this Pulsar, that was the brand name, Disney Mickey Mouse wristwatch. It had a stainless steel back, and I also used words like base metal bezel. I don't know what a lot of these things are. I don't sell watches, but at that consignment store that I talked about where they have a birthday sale, this was at a previous birthday sale that happened earlier in the summer. I actually took my mother-in-law and her sister and friend from Korea who were visiting. I took them to this sale. They were having the time of their lives at this sale. They, you know, got their bags to fill up, and they were just so committed to filling these bags as completely full as possible. So we were there for like 3 hours. After about an hour and a half, I was done looking at everything I needed to look at. Like I shop really fast. So I was just kind of milling around, just looking at random things, looking at full price items. And then I happened to come across like the section of accessories that was also part of the birthday sale. So I found this watch there. I probably would not have gotten it had those women not taken so much time, but I was able to just throw it in the bag. This took up no space in any bag. So my average cost of goods for that sale was $3.47. When I got it home, I realized there was kind of a large scratch on the face of the watch, which is why I had to price it a little bit lower than I had originally wanted to. I think I ended up pricing this around $25, but I got an offer of $18 for it on eBay that was promoted at 3%. And after my cost of goods, which was $3.47, and eBay's fees, my net profit on that watch was $10.85. Not the best flip, but it did sell pretty quickly within like a month. The next thing to sell was this Matilda Jane At Ease orange floral jersey knit maxi dress in a size medium. This is the same sale where I got those Anu shoes that I talked about earlier. I have also talked about how Matilda Jane for women has just slowed down so much for me, so I don't really pick it up anymore. I did pick this up, however, because it was a maxi dress, and the style of it I thought was kind of unique, where it had, you know, mainly a floral print, but then kind of this contrasting, like, very athletic stripe detail throughout. So I was like, let me just try it and see what happens. I listed it for $35, and it sold so quickly, within a matter of days. And not only did it sell on eBay, but it got a lot of attention on platforms like Poshmark and stuff. So I think Matilda Jane maxi dresses, or at least dresses by this style, can do really well. It sold for $25. That was an offer that someone sent me, which I accepted. I had $4.55 into it, so I made a net profit of $15.77. So this dress was interesting because typically for items on eBay that weigh over a pound, I will use a padded flat rate envelope, and that's because those envelopes cost $8.30. That's also because of the fact that, like, right now I'm above average on eBay. I'm not even a top rated seller because I had to cancel a few sales not too long ago because I had already sold the item somewhere else. But I'm an above average seller, and as a result I get shipping discounts on eBay. You might be saying, wait, I don't get charged $8.30 for padded flat rate envelopes. I get charged more, and that's why. You have to be of like pretty good status. That being said, typically that's what I would do to ship something out like this, something that weighs over a pound but fits in a padded flat rate envelope. However, I noticed that it was cheaper to ship it out priority mail. Priority mail only costs $7.20 for this item, and there's another item coming up in the near future where it was the same situation. It weighed over a pound, but I was going to be able to ship it out cheaper using priority mail than if I were to use a padded flat rate envelope. I'm sharing that with you so that if you are ever in the same boat, check to see how much it's going to cost to ship something priority mail, even if it does weigh over a pound or even over 2 pounds, because we can't forget that eBay figures out the shipping cost based on not only weight and size, but also by the amount of distance the item has to travel. And I do believe that this dress and the next example that I'm going to share with you, both people lived fairly close to me. They were like in the next state or even within the same state as myself, and that's why it was actually cheaper to go priority mail than it was in a padded flat rate envelope. Moving on to Thursday, which is July 27th, on eBay, I sold this pair of New Balance 928 version 3 suede walking shoes in a size 8.5. These I picked up at a local thrift store for $5.99, and they sold for $30 on eBay. This was the same situation where it was actually cheaper to ship these out priority mail than it was with a padded flat rate envelope, and that's because the person who bought this from me literally lived like 3 hours north of me, and so I made a net profit on those shoes of $19.90. $2,000,000.99. On Friday, which was July 28th, this was the day that I had my July drop and when I started making some sales on my own website. But first, on Poshmark, I had another Eileen Fisher sale, and it was this gray striped high-low knit sweater tunic in a size large. This sold for $21 with discounted shipping because of Posher VA. I had $2 into it from a ThredUp rescue box. It was one of those big, like 100-pound bulk rescue boxes, and so I made a net profit of $12.78. I could have absolutely gotten a lot more for the sweater, except for the fact that there was a big pull at the bottom on the front of the sweater, and as a result I had to price it a bit lower and just be willing to take offers. That was also listed for a really long time. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was another Talbot's piece. This was a pair of Talbot's signature red capri cropped classic pants in a size 16 petite. They were extremely lightweight, and I put that word in the title because sometimes I think it helps. They sold for $19.99 on eBay. That was my full asking price. I only had $1.11 into these because they were from that same consignment store's birthday sale. For that birthday sale, on the first day, you pay $30 per bag. However, after the weekend, I think starting on Monday, they start dropping the price of how much you have to pay per bag by $5. So I went back to that sale probably like 2 birthday sales ago on a Wednesday, and I think the price per bag was like $10 or $15 at that point. So that's when I started picking up a ton of just super bread and butter type things that I normally wouldn't pick up even for $3 or $4, but I got a lot of these kinds of Talbot's, you know, career pants that I typically hate picking up because I feel like they sit for a while, but I only had $1.11 into these. They sold pretty quickly actually, and I made a net profit of $14.37. I think one thing that did help these sell a little bit faster than most Talbot's career pieces was the fact that they were a plus size. And then on my website, shopbeckypark.com, I sold this Roberta Roller Rabbit teal tunic dress in a size large. It had tassels, it was extremely lightweight, and I also described this as something that you could use as like a swimsuit cover. This sold for $34.95 to Jessica. Jessica, thank you so much. I can't remember if it was Jessica who had commented in a haul video where I showed this piece that she really wanted this item. I hope it was you, but I could kind of tell from the response even to that haul video within, you know, everyone's comments that this item was gonna go really fast because a lot of people commented on it. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's everything you want in a summer piece. She purchased it for $34.95. That is with me paying for shipping because I pay for shipping on everything that I sell on my website. I had $4.55 into that from the birthday sale at that consignment store, so I made a net profit of $24.89 on that. Jessica, thank you again so much, and I hope you are able to wear it for the rest of the summer. The next thing to sell sold to a viewer named Pam. So Pam, thank you, thank you, thank you. She got this pair of Harley Davidson Bridget Shooty black leather 4-inch ankle boots in a size 9. They were also from that consignment store birthday sale, so I had $4.55 into them, and those sold for $35.96 because she had a coupon code. If you subscribe to my newsletter, I do send out a coupon code that allows you to save 10% off of already really low prices. So she took advantage of that and got these for $35.96. I made a net profit on those boots of $20.07. So Pam, thank you so much. On Saturday, which was July 29th, on Mercari, I sold this Helly Hansen gray merino wool blend quarter zip pullover in a size medium. That's also from that consignment store, so I had $4.55 into it. It sold for $29, and it sold like within a week of being listed, and so I made a net profit of $19.99 on that. I have sold Helly Hansen in the past, but like don't feel like I've had very much luck with it. It usually sits for a while. I feel like it sells for far less than what people typically say that it'll go for. But this was a Helly Hansen sale that I felt really good about. And then I had a couple more sales from my website. The first thing to sell was this pair of Nike black Tanjune? I don't know how to pronounce that word. But it was this pair of high-rise boots. They were like lace-up shoes, if you will, in a women's size 10. These sold for $41.95 to Deborah. So Deborah, thank you so much. I actually picked them up at a Plato's Closet like a few months ago at this point for $16.50. That's more than I'm used to spending, I'm not gonna lie, but I thought that these were worth it. I just thought they were really cool, and in my past experience, I've had really good luck selling Nike boots for a good amount. I think especially like Nike snowboarding shoes, those kinds of things can go for so much money, but I was able to make a $16.88 profit on these, so Deborah, thank you so much, and I hope that you are rocking these. The next thing to sell was this Vici Collection Mamma Mia polka dot red wrap maxi dress in a size small. I did put the word retro in the listing title because I thought it was very retro. It gave me like intense Minnie Mouse vibes, but like in the cutest way possible. I thought this dress was gorgeous, like just so beautiful. And it turns out that Ashley agreed with me because she purchased this dress for $28.76. She used a 10% off coupon as well. By the way, if you want to join my email list, I do have the link for it down in the description below. And you know, I don't just send out coupons from my website, but I do send out I don't know, it's like every 2 weeks, every maybe once a month newsletter as well with just information regarding reselling. But she got the coupon code from that and was able to get this for $28.76. This came from that same birthday consignment sale, so I had $4.55 into it and I made a net profit of $17.91. Vici Collection is a brand that I think resellers have mixed feelings about. I personally have only had really good luck with it, and I do genuinely like their pieces, so it is a brand that I continue to pick up. And then on Sunday, which was July 30th, I sold this Talbot's red sleeveless career sheath dress in a size 12. It had buttons going all the way up the front. This is a good week for Talbot's. It sold for $25. I got it from that same consignment store, but I don't think it was from like a birthday sale. I think I just went there to shop during a random sale. I had $4.29 into it. I made a net profit of $15.71. I will pick up most Talbot's Career pieces just because those things are expensive retail. And not only that, I just do really well with Talbot's. I had someone leave me a comment in last week's What Sold video and they were like, it always amazes me how much Talbot's you can sell and how well you can do with it. And she was like, it just does not move for me. And that is such a silly and interesting thing about reselling, I feel like, is what does really well for one person may not necessarily do well for someone else. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. And then the last sale that we'll talk about from the week is kind of a stinker, but it's this Loft knit raglan sleeve color block sweater in a size small. Loft is just not a brand that I enjoy reselling because it doesn't do well. It's oversaturated. It does kind of retail for a lot in stores, not nearly as much as Talbot's, but I get it. It's kind of expensive, but I don't know. People do not want to pay more than like $4 for it on Poshmark. I sold this one for $8 and I made a net profit of $5.05. Those were my sales for the week. So let's go over my numbers, shall we? On Poshmark, I sold 5 items. I didn't realize that I sold so little on Poshmark this week until I ran my numbers and I was like, 5 items? And guys, I am actually doing the Poshmark promoted closets right now. I just got accepted into the beta program. I think I started it 2 nights ago. And I have not made a single sale on Poshmark since, I believe. Let's see. Okay, I think I made 1 sale since, but according to their dashboard, that sale was not a result of the promoted closet situation. It just kind of sold on its own. I have not made a single sale because of promoted closet. And aside from that, I've only had 1 sale since I started it 2 nights ago. So I'm not impressed yet. I will obviously be back with an update on how promoted closets went and if it's something that I would recommend and if it's something that I plan to continue with. Right now though, so I sold 5 items on Poshmark for a gross sales amount of $139. Once you factor in Poshmark's fees and discounted shipping on a few items, that total drops to $104.85. I had $37.23 into those 5 items, and so my net profit on Poshmark for the week was $67.62. On eBay, I sold 7 items, and that was for a gross sales amount of $186.98. Once you factor in eBay's fees, that total drops to $156.53. I had $19.62 into those 7 items, so my net profit for the week on eBay was $136.91. On Mercari, I sold 2 items for a gross sales amount of $38. Once you factor in Mercari's fees, that total drops to $31.75. I had $4.55 into those 2 items, so I made a net profit of $31.75. Now, on my website, I only sold 4 items, which is less than Poshmark, less than eBay, but but my gross sales amount was $141.62. Once you factor in the fact that I paid for shipping and Shopify's very low fees, that total drops to $109.90. I had $30.15 into those 4 items, so I made a net profit on my website of $79.75, which is more than the $67.62 that I made on Poshmark. Again, Poshmark sales were so crappy, so it wasn't very difficult for my website to beat it, but it did, and I'm gonna chalk that up as a win. So in total, I sold 18 items for a gross sales amount of $505.60. Once you factor in fees and all the shipping that I paid for, that total drops to $403.03. My cost of goods for those 18 items was $91.53, and so my net profit for the week was $311.50. July was super rough. However, I'm very thankful to report that August so far has been pretty fantastic. I'm hoping that it stays this way and that the trajectory is just we shall see. Definitely subscribe so that you can see if that is true. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!